2 years ago, I bought a 4Runner and immediately went out looking to upgrade, which all of us do. And the first stop was the roof rack. So I started designing my own. It was a major undertaking, come to find out. I've literally gone through like 6 different versions. Made a rack, didn't like the way it looked, threw it away. The first one took, I think, 8 hours to install. There were some details that were just impossible to get around. So ditched that one because that wasn't going to work. So now I'm down to the Falcon one. It's not up there right now. But this video will be an overview of the install and some details and possible options, because I built it to be able to add on a basket in the future. It can, you can take rails off, you can add rails, whatever you want to do. There's a lot of options with it. So this video will show all that and we'll get right onto it. Now, the unique thing about our roof racks, and it's unique because it's extremely difficult. It would be a lot cheaper and a lot quicker to make these things if we didn't do this, but we put a bend in the sidebars with a press brake. This, you notice that it's not a 90, it's about an 80-degree tilt. This follows, to me, and just looking at it, a lot of racks are 90 on the side. I don't think it really follows the line of the car as well. So I put an 80-degree bend in here, kind of follows the side, the profiles of the car a little bit better, and putting the bend in the top makes this piece extremely stiff and extremely strong. This way, you do not need all 6 of the crossbars installed for it to be functional. So if you don't, or if you have a sunroof, you can just leave off these 2 rails, have the 4 rails on the back, and it'll be perfectly functional. You can have them all on there, you can take one in the middle out, whatever. It's kind of customizable that way. It's very stable, barely any wind noise, no wobble, no vibrations. It just ended up being a much stronger rack than even I kind of anticipated. First step, once you've removed your rack, I'm not going to show removing the rack, there's tons of videos on that. This spot right here is where your rack will sit on. Now, what is in here, this red piece, are 2 of these stacked on top of each other. So you will drop this down in here, and this will make your mounting plate for your roof rack. Now, the most important thing for you to do is to get clear silicone, small bottle of clear silicone, and put a layer of silicone at the bottom before you put the first plate in, and then a layer of silicone between the 2, and then silicone down in the holes before you put the rack on. You have to seal very well all around this rack. The silicone is not going to mess with your paint. It's not going to damage the paint in any way. But you do not want water to get in these holes. These holes are directly connected to the inside of your car. I screwed up the very first time that I was messing with this, left the holes off, or the bolts out, and it rained, and I had water, unbeknownst to me, under my carpet inside my car, and it molded, had mildew. It was terrible. So make sure that's sealed. Once you get your mounting plates installed, 4 on each side, you are now ready to put this thing on top. Or you can get a ladder. Swing her up. Lay it right on there. Now, you do not want to tighten any of these bolts down at this point. Do not tighten anything down. Just start it, get the thread started so it doesn't fall off on you. There's an adjustment on the plates, so you can slide it backwards and forward to kind of help you line it up. So remember, do not tighten this down. All right, first step. Again, do not tighten anything yet. It'll make installing it extremely difficult The next step, once you get the two sides on, is to put your front flash on. In the future, I will be offering cutouts for lights, light bars in the front of this, so it'll be, you know, a nice little drop, recessed area where you can put a light bar in. At this point in time, I do not sell them as is with cutouts. I can make them for you. Just reach out to me. They can be an add-on, you know, but right now it's priced as just a blank slate. You can add them on in the future. Once I start building kind of a database of sizes that need to be in place, then I can offer them up front that way. Slide this, set it up over here. Another feature, kind of the mainstay of my rack and the design I wanted to go with, is to follow the lines of the 4Runner. One of the very first versions was screwed up because I thought that it was the same width front to back. It is not. It's like 2 inches wider at the front than it is in the back. That was also a lot of geometry that was tough to deal with and tough to figure out, but I liked the way it looks. If it stays, it's just like a part of the car. It's not an add-on. I want to design it to look like it was built with the car. So it follows the lines. So what you'll have to do is just kind of pick through your bars, make sure they're all different sizes. So make sure you find the one that fits. Largest at the front, smallest at the back. Okay. You'll notice that the rack mount, the sidebar mounts are designed for you to be able to do this thing quickly. You can just literally drop this thing in here and leave it and then work on mounting it. There are 2 slots on the side and 2 holes at the bottom. Now you'll be getting two nuts that will slide in here on the ends that will stick down, so that when you're sliding these things on, they will line up with the holes in the bottom of this, and then you'll just have to thread on a nut to each one of those. The ones on the side will be the same principles. You'll just be able to have the bolts already in there. You'll be able to slide them down and then tighten them up. Drops in there. Now you're ready to lay the rest of these bars out, and at that point in time, you'll be able to start tightening everything up.